Hello and welcome. I am Maestra Teacher and this is my 5th grade Oasis channel. I've been a teacher for more than 20 years and I've taught gen ed and bilingual classes as well. In today's video, I want to talk to you about student surveys. If you are a brand new teacher or brand new to 5th grade, know that there's a big possibility that your students will evaluate you at the end of the year. Just like normal companies do surveys for their employees to gather information, the same thing is happening in many school districts where at the end of the year, the district would like to know via a survey how students are feeling, what are their needs, and basically giving feedback about the school year, about the different components, including the way you teach, the way they feel in class, and so on and so forth. Student surveys are quite valuable in my opinion because as a teacher you receive that feedback directly from your students and that can help you maybe tweak, change something in class that the future students that are coming to you will basically benefit from. There are some school districts that actually use the student survey as part of the teacher's evaluation. For example, some parts in Texas use this as part of the performance pay together with student score and the student survey and then the teacher evaluation. Those are components that are used to evaluate. I would like to share with you my latest student survey. This one's from the year 2021 with the purpose of showing you the kind of questions that these surveys have. Maybe you still have a few months ahead before your survey and you will now be more prepared by looking at the kind of questions they're going to be asked, and maybe there's something you need to change in your classroom. You still have time to do that. So when the Okay, I'm going to show you here the beginning of the survey, which is basically the summary of the 5 different components of this survey, which is classroom climate, engagement, pedagogical effectiveness, rigorous expectations, and teacher-student relationships. These were my overall scores for each of the 5 components. And in a moment, I'm going to go individually so you can see. But the overall summary here is this classroom climate. It means perception of the overall social and learning climate of your classroom. And engagement is how attentive and invested students are in your class. In pedagogical effectiveness means the students' perceptions of the quality of teaching and amount of learning they experience from a particular teacher, which is of course me in this case. Rigorous expectations, how much students feel that a specific teacher holds them to high expectations around effort. This is a big deal to me, and I always, because I have such high expectations for all my students. Also says understanding, persistence, and performance in class. And finally, teacher-student relationships, how strong the social connection is between teachers and students within and beyond the classroom. And this also involves this social emotional learning. I think that's what that one is really strong and it's gonna come there. As you can see, this was my score. Anything that has a green like this, it means that you went above a little more. And it also compares here to the district and the rest of the school as well. So the top number here on this side is how they did on the specific district, and then the bottom number is how they did on the school. Now let's look at these ones individually. Let's look now at the first component individually. As you can see here, this was the one I got 95%, classroom climate. And these are the kind of questions they ask the students. The first one says, how positive or negative is the energy in your class? They also ask them, how fair or unfair are the rules in my class? And of course, they ask them, in this class, how much does behavior of other students hurt or help your learning? And this one has to do a lot with administration as well. When you have unruly students that you want them to be removed and then they don't take them or they send them back, this affects students' learning. And basically, I feel they're violating their rights to learn when they don't take out these students that need to be helped or need to be away for a while. And over here, they also ask them, how often does your teacher seem excited to be teaching in your class? And basically, maybe there was someone who felt like sometimes wasn't. I don't know. For the second component of engagement, the one I had 94% and I had change 3 points more, or I don't know if it's 3 students more or 3%, but basically this one went a little higher. However, in question 1, how excited are you about going to this class? Remember this, I teach reading, and usually reading is a very demanding class for them. So I always expect this one not to be the highest one because they enjoy more like science when you have more hands-on and so on, or math games. But reading is a lot of work. I give quite some homework and it's a lot of processes they have to do. So I'm not surprised about that one. This one, in this class, how excited are you to participate? One was not very excited, and you do have shy students that you have to encourage, but not everybody wants to participate. The third one was, when you're not in class, how often do you talk about ideas from this class? Which is really good. That means when they're not in class, maybe they're talking to their parents about my class, and that gets me excited because that means they remember what we did. And how focused are you on activities in class? And they are all quite engaged. This is important to make activities that they are engaged. And this one was really, really good from my last survey. So I guess this year I got way better at that. And one more, it asked them, how interested are you in this class? And as I just said, -3. Reading it's not everybody likes this class. Again, it's because it's a lot of work, but sometimes you need to choose stories from reading that are excited, that gets them motivated and engaged, and I think that's the key. Okay, so for the third category of pedagogical effectiveness, pedagogical, I know it means teachers or teaching. So basically how effective the students feel is the way I teach. So the first question it was asked, how interesting does this teacher make what you are learning in class? So most of them feel that the way I do it is quite interesting. The second one, during the class, how good is this teacher at making sure students do not get out of control? I am extremely strict, so I'm not surprised they should have a good one in this one. The next one, how clearly does this teacher present information? And this was a good one, and I had better points this year. And the next one, how well can this teacher tell whether or not you understand the topic? Of course, you can do this by informal observations, feedback right away. You ask them questions as you are working with them. And they also have this one that says, how comfortable are you asking this teacher questions about what you're learning? And this one makes me very happy that I had it mostly greens, because this is important to me when a student does not understand something, that they feel very comfortable and free to ask questions, because that's how I know what they are not getting and I can help them. And one more from this one. How much have you learned from this teacher? This is an interesting one, right? How the students feel they've learned from you. For this fourth category of rigorous expectations, got 99%. These are the main questions that they were asked. How often does this teacher take time to make sure you understand the material? And this is good, because I surely do. Next one, how often does this teacher make you explain your answers? This is constantly explain, give me evidence. This is all the time in my class. When you feel like giving up, how likely is it that this teacher will make you keep trying? Nobody gives up in our class. You know, there's just no way. You have to keep trying. We have to figure it out until everyone get it. Failure is not an option in my class. And overall, how high are the teacher's expectations of you? Of course, very, very high. I tell them since day one, they're here to learn, they're here to work, and I have very high expectations because I know they can. And the final component of this survey was teacher-student relationships. I got a 95%. And the questions were, how respectful is this teacher towards you? So I felt good that most of them did. They also asked, when your teacher asks, how are you? How often do you feel your teacher really wants to know your answer? And this is important because the student know if you're just asking just to ask, or if you are genuinely caring about how they are. And this is part again of the SEL learning. And the third one was, if you were upset when you come to class, how concerned would your teacher be? So one of them felt I wasn't very concerned, and that's something I want to keep in mind because I want to make sure that they all know I am concerned everything. How excited would you be to have this teacher again? Someone is not very excited to have me again, but they didn't because this was last year and they all passed grade. So I guess it was a relief to them. And those are basically the questions that you get maybe in your survey. It's not exactly the same as this one. And I'm sorry, this screen looks not the best, but it's just, I don't know how to really, I'm not really good with technology. I'm working on it. But at least you got an idea of the kind of questions that your students will be asked. Well, there you have it. That was my latest student survey. Tell me your opinion. Do you think it's fair to use this to evaluate a teacher, at least at this elementary level? Yes or no? Also, if you would like to share with me if you have any other kind of surveys that your students do, please like my video and subscribe to my channel for everything 5th grade, and I'll see you in the next one. See you soon.